Forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
And the rain coming down, as you can see, on our roofing dog, Casey Summers' camera. That is in Mattoon right now. Rain in a lot of locations, and this is just the beginning. Now, it's mainly south of I-74 and I-72, as you can see. So you're talking about Scola, Arcola, you're talking about Charleston, Mattoon, Shelbyville, Effingham. You guys are really getting the rain, and even towards Danville as well. And all of this is continuing to move off here to the north and east. We've even had some lightning strikes with this. Yes, some thunderstorms already tonight. We're expecting more of that as we head into your Friday. It's also a little breezy out there. Look at the wind still in Springfield at 36 miles per hour. 50 degrees in Springfield right now. Still very mild with these temperatures. Travel impacts in the morning. Look out for the rain. Heavy at times. Hydroplaning on the roadways. Look out for that water and those puddles and whatnot. And those wipers going to be working overtime. So that's the rain part. There is ice, there is snow still to talk about. We'll show it to you coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A teenager was shot and taken to the hospital. I'll have the latest information.
It's really reprehensible, the situation that the district has put us in.
Parents in the Champaign School District are against a proposal to swap schools, and they're not alone.
And experts say this flu season could be the worst on record. We'll tell you who's the most at risk.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. If you don't have an umbrella, you'll want to buy one soon. A lot of rain is headed our way if it's not already here, and that's not all. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy in the tracking center tonight. So, Kevin, a lot going on over the next couple of days.
It really is. From rain to ice to snow, we're going to see a little bit of everything. Tonight, it is raining. That is our view along Neal Street here in Champaign. You can see the raindrops on the lens of our camera. And again, it has been raining for several hours. A flood watch in effect for everyone over the next several days. If you live near those creeks, rivers, and streams or low-lying areas where water tends to pile up a little bit more, we're expecting flooding to occur. If you've got those basements that usually flood, unfortunately, this is the kind of rain that may lead to that, as we've got a lot coming over the next few days. Heaviest to occur, believe it or not, is going to be tomorrow night, with totals of 3 to 4 inches by the time Sunday rolls around. And then we have to talk about maybe some ice and snow to wrap things up with this system for Saturday night. So when we come back, we'll do just that. We'll obviously show you the map with that 3 to 4 inch amount, but talk more about that wintry side of things here in a little bit.
Yeah, check your sump pump if you haven't already.
Definitely.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Our other top story tonight, a shooting in Decatur sent a teenager to the hospital.
An 18-year-old was shot around 7 o'clock. It happened near the corner of East Prairie Street and North 23rd. This is the second shooting in Decatur today. The first happened near North Water and East Olive Streets this afternoon. A man was seriously hurt. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is at the scene of tonight's shooting on East Prairie. Jennifer, what have police told you?
Paul, police are clearing the scene right now as we speak. They tell me that they haven't made any arrests in this shooting here tonight yet. Now, as of about 15 minutes ago, police tell me that they cannot confirm the condition of that 18-year-old who was shot yet, but we will make sure to bring you that as soon as we know it. Now, police did say he was the only victim that they are aware of at this time. And police have been here in the streets outside these homes searching for the past few hours, but like I said, they are clearing the scene right now, and that's all the information that has been released. Stay with us on WCIA.com on our website for the latest details of what happened here tonight. Live in Decatur, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Yeah, Jennifer, if you do learn anything more, let us know. We'll come back to you.
3 members of the same family were in a crash on I-74 in Urbana last night. 2 of them died. This crash happened between Cunningham and Lincoln Avenues. There were 4 people in the car total. 37-year-old Rodney Young died at the scene. 46-year-old Shantez Young died at the hospital. 46-year-old Marzette Young was driving. A family member tells us Rodney and Marzette were brothers, Shantez their cousin. Marzette, the driver, and a 4th passenger who has not been identified were taken to the hospital. State police are still investigating the crash.
2 restaurants in St. Joe are cleaning up after they were broken into over the weekend. It happened at the Wheelhouse in China King. Both break-ins happened around the same time. Police wouldn't provide many details, but said they are possibly related. Wheelhouse was closed today because of the break-in. It'll reopen tomorrow at 11. Illinois House Republicans have been pushing for a subpoena of 3 former officials involved in a possible rape cover-up in Champaign. But House Speaker Michael Madigan said today he wouldn't do it. The possible cover-up came to light after emails from 2012 from Mike McLean were uncovered by WBEZ. He mentions it while trying to protect a state employee from being fired. McLean's a politician turned lobbyist who's been a confidant of Madigan's since the early 70s. State Senator Scott Bennett of Champaign wants the truth to be found. He hopes someone with information will come forward soon.
To think that someone could actually say, let's give this person a break because they kept information away from the police or away from someone involving a rape, that's sickening.
Madigan's reasoning behind not issuing a subpoena is he wants it investigated by, quote, proper authorities. House Republican leader Jim Durkin says he was disappointed but not surprised by the decision. Governor Pritzker's been keeping an eye on the case as well. He says he turned the information over to the Inspector General.
Some are questioning the type of sexual abuse prevention training that's offered in Danville schools. They asked why the district doesn't have the Survivor Resource Center host that training, which they do in several areas. We looked into it, and Danville uses its own employees to do that training. That includes social workers, psychiatrists, and psychologists. Resource Center educators say whoever is teaching students, it's important they learn how to spot abuse.
Sometimes the abuser is the adult in their life. It's someone that they're supposed to trust. And when we teach them how to identify those feelings and communicate them, that empowers them to find out, well, who is it that I can really trust? Who do I feel the most comfortable around?
All schools in Illinois are required to provide sexual abuse prevention education per Aaron's Law. As of this year, they also have to provide information on consent to both middle and high school students. We have an update from earlier this week. Parents of students at International Prep Academy told the Champaign School District what they thought about the plan for students there and at Garden Hills to swap schools. And those parents weren't alone. Garden Hills parents shared their concerns Tuesday night against the plan, but they also packed tonight's meeting at IPA. The school district wants to put Garden Hills students at IPA and IPA students at Garden Hills to fill the extra 200 seats they have open there. It would also allow them to expand their dual language program from K through 5 to K through 8. But most parents from both sides aren't so sure about it. One IPA parent says he and several others are concerned about safety in the Garden Hills neighborhood.
IPA parents have also voiced concern and surprise because up until this swap was proposed, they were unaware of the many issues affecting the Garden Hill community, such as the lack of street lamps, sidewalks, and other resources needed to keep the neighborhood safe.
They also say this would invalidate their decision when it comes to the school of choice program, since the location of a school is a large factor in a parent's decision on where to send their child. One woman who lives in the Garden Hills neighborhood suggested the district should instead spread the wealth of the dual language program.
But we can improve the programs that are at the other schools because Garden Hills, Booker T. Washington, and Stratton, who are all struggling schools, there's a problem. We cannot just stick Band-Aids on those problems and think that they're going to go away because they're not.
On Monday, the superintendent plans to give a presentation at the board meeting and make her recommendations on next steps moving forward.
Champaign County Treasurer Laurel Pressing is resigning from office at the end of the month, but someone's asking the county board to take a closer look at the records. John Bambanek is a U of I professor with ties to local politics. He wants a forensic audit of the treasurer's office. He says there's been dysfunction since Pressing was elected. Her term has had some problems, including schools still waiting for money due to them since 2018 and late tax notices, among others. Forensic audits are primarily used in serious cases. He believes the amount of money at stake is grounds for this kind of audit.
This is kind of a worst case scenario in financial mismanagement that happened. And whoever takes over for the treasurer, whoever ultimately gets elected in November, they want to start with a clean slate also.
Champaign County Board will officially announce Pressing's resignation at its next meeting on the 14th. The board will have 60 days from that point to appoint a new treasurer. Pressing steps down on the 31st.
One officer is back on his legs after an accident. All 4 of them.
Plus, high demand for marijuana is cutting into stock at dispensaries, but it's not from recreational users.
And later, a 15-game losing streak came to an end last night. How the Illini finally beat the Badgers.